Hello, David.
Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh my God, this is a tells you how much technology. Can you see me?
Of course.
Oh, okay. I can see you. I apologize. My desktop is in the dining room, and somehow it didn't work. I had to dig up my laptop and plug it up, and I use this one for drills. So I assume it works. As long as we could hear, as long as we could hear and see each other.
Oh yeah, that's the purpose, man. Like we want to be efficient with our time and you know cover our bases.
Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear.
But that's what this program is. That's the advantage of it. I use it quite frequently.
Yeah, I use it when we have our AGR meetings with the guard and so forth. And but sometimes it works, and depending on during the day, like when the internet is overloaded with all the kids online, that's when I notice there's a slowdown sometimes. Even though we have high speed, it's weird, but got it working.
Yeah, well, and out of transparency, I am recording the meeting for
Oh no, I'm glad you told me. That's no problem. That's no
out
problem.
of transparency. And thanks for thanks for joining. And I just wanted to touch base with you and find out where we're at, find a common ground, and answer some of the questions,
Sure, sure, sure.
and give you support.
Oh, absolutely. Just if you want, I can tell you where we're at now and
Please.
some of the correspondence. As you know, we submitted already. We've got some feedback from the city, and we've got probably, if you could even check it up on.
I have them. I have them right here.
Yeah, yeah, I've got it too, and we've got all the responses. I've worked on some of them, but the one that's the two that are key with regards to permit. One of them I believe I sent you, and as well as to Wendell. It's that LDR map check.
Yes.
Those comments. Have you guys had the time to look that over?
Yeah, I have.
Do you have questions, or are we going to be a go on that so I can coordinate with the surveyor when he can go out there? Because if you say it's a go, then I just per his contract, send it in. Then I'll coordinate the time with him such that I can coordinate when he'll get his task done. So when he gets his done, we could coordinate our resubmittal back in.
Okay, on that, I was looking at the issues on the first review, and
Mm-hmm.
when we talked about this survey, they were indicate survey monuments as described to be destroyed during and replaced after construction. That's
Yes.
and that's very important.
Yes, and it's not a it's not the survey that probably Wendell thought. The survey that was done years ago, that's just the topo. You understand that one. That's just to show the boundary and topo, but it had nothing to do with monumentation, preservation, protection, or recordation. And what had happened is, and you could look this up with the city, they have a policy now that what's been happening in the past is when there's a construction project going on, so forth and so on, these property corners, they get somehow knocked out or destroyed. And some of the neighbors or whatever start complaining and say, well, what happened to the monuments? And they no longer have an identification point of where the property corner is because of construction. So what the city started doing is they said, okay, you know what, to protect this, they're going to have a policy where each project, if they're doing anything major grading, that they locate the monuments there, have a plan that how they're going to protect them, or in the event that they're going to get destroyed, how they're going to get replaced. And that's what those options they gave on there on that list. I think I gave you.
Yes, I got the list. I got the list.
They gave several options that you can choose. Yeah. And
not
and
necessarily.
part of the,
Yeah, but just a minute. When you say options that you can choose, that depends on your current situation, isn't it?
yes.
I mean,
and
you don't have very many options. You have to do what they're asking you.
yeah. I mean, you kind of have some options, but you got to do something. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
You got to do something. And when the surveyor goes out there, he's going to see if he can locate any of the any monuments. Now, if they're not out there, the city, they do this now to the projects. They want you to install them in. So after the project gets done, now you've got identifiable corners around the lot.
Mm-hmm.
And from my understanding, I think from the last survey, I believe that there were no monuments on the front. And I think the back is going to be interesting. If any, that's the one where down in the canyon.
Yes.
Down in the canyon here,
Mm-hmm.
that hasn't really been determined to see. So
let me
the surveyor would identify those.
Let me show you something here and see.
Sure.
Can you see that drawing?
Yes.
Okay, so that's our drawing. So
That's correct.
You're talking about that.
Yeah, if you could point you see where it says property line typical?
Which one?
If you go to the corner, if you could point the arrow.
Oh yeah, property line tip. Yeah, that's the property line right there.
Not the heavy one where it says property line typical.
Yes, right there.
Okay. Yes. You go to that one corner down at the bottom. Yeah, that corner, and you go straight up. Oh, not that high. Just the second point.
This one.
No, the one more up. That corner, and you go to your right on that same line, and keep going all the way. Keep going until you get to the alley. Oh, you might have to move the drawing a little bit. Right there where it says FS 273. Yeah, that corner.
Right.
And you go straight down to the one that says 260. Now those four corners, the surveyor is going to see if he finds any monuments out there. If he does, then that's how the plan gets set up. If they're there, he's got to tell how those are going to be preserved. If not, he's got to tell the city how we're going to put them back in after construction. So that's what they wanted to see, and that's why he based I gave him the comments from the city, and he based his proposal off of that.
Okay. That being said, I have a question for you.
Sure.
How reliable is the topo?
The topo is reliable. I mean, to a certain, let's put it this way. I can go out there and change the topo by just kicking dirt around, as you know that. But the topo is reliable to the point where, for example, the hard surfaces, that's reliable. That's reliable.
Well, the grading is very important. Is the topography 2D or 3D?
It's 3D. It's 3D. That's why the contours are there. They're reliable, but I'm not going to say it's off by several feet. where it's critical is really critical is where you get to the hard surfaces, and that's reliable. When we check the where the alley is, where the existing alley is, and so forth, that's hard. When you move out to the right, you got to move the drawing to the right. Yeah, all of the elevations there, those existing ones you just see in parentheses, those are hard. For our grading purpose, those contours are relative. They're not down to the 1/10 of a foot, but they're good enough for purposes of grading. They will be good enough for grading.
Okay, but this you're talking about these. These are.
Yes,
these
those are
ones here,
hard.
the finished
Yeah, those
surfaces.
are hard. Yes.
How did you get those?
We had remember that was based on the topography that was done. That was the base topo. There was a survey done on that. It's not taken off of whatchamacallit,
Reference
GS.
drawing. It's not a
Yeah.
reference drawing or nothing like that.
It was an actual AutoCAD drawing that was provided to Wendell and I. Yes.
Okay. Well, you understand while I'm asking
Oh,
you
no,
that,
no,
don't
no,
you?
no, absolutely. And just for yucks, if you want, when the surveyor comes out there to do the monumentation preservation, he'll shoot. He automatically will shoot that elevation, and I could ask him, hey, by the way, since you're at that corner, what's the elevation there? If it's within a 1/10 or so, then we know we're good.
Oh yeah, no problem about that. Well, see what happens with your drawings from the topography and the different programs. It's really helpful to have the digital file, the 3D, because it's not only for the construction, but it's also afterwards when you put all your slopes and different things in there. You got to have accurate topography.
Yeah, and that's how we were able to do the grading plan using. We had the electronic file of the contours. That's how we were able to show. You see the dotted ones were the
that's existing.
existing.
Yeah, that's existing. It's existing.
Then using that's how being that it was a 3D representation of the topo. We're able to do the finished contours, and that's what you see on the drawing. The hard lines, the solid lines.
Yeah. I see
Exactly.
right
Exactly.
Here.
That helped. Having the base topography helped us do those proposed grades.
What kind of have they made any comments about your this different your storm drains, these PVC pipes, and how the riprap and this kind of how it's all going to be? Because some of those they want a wing wall.
Well, that's if it's a large pipe. These are only 3-inch pipes. You're not going to need a wing wall for that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know what you mean. I'm just looking at the surface here. They're going into these catch basins, and from these catch basins, that's
you won't need any. Yeah, you won't need any wing walls or anything up there at the top. No.
I understand that, but like on here, you don't describe anything about that, about the drainage. About it, is it riprap with size riprap or anything, or rocks? You don't describe it anywhere.
On where?
Like right here where daylights.
Is this the site? Is this the site development plan or the actual grading plan?
This is the grading plan.
Can you go to the bottom right-hand corner?
Yeah. Let's see.
I could tell you if that is the actual grading plan, because the grading plan will be different. Because this one could be for when we got the NDP approved. I can't recall.
Okay. Can you make it a little bigger? Can you see this where you got this catch basin right here, and it goes down this three, and it comes down to this here.
Yes.
It
now,
yeah. Go on.
Usually that riprap is going to be tiny. It's not the big one because it's based off of the queue that's coming out, and we did calcs on that, and that's why I think this plan could be the NDP plan, but not the actual
All
grading
right.
plan. The grading plan, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it does have that as well. Yeah, see this looks like this is the SDB plan. If
Okay.
it more than likely, if you can pull up the drawing, that's the grading. I don't think I have it on my laptop, but the grading will show that. And it's the riprap is tiny. It's tiny because it's
Okay.
only a 3-inch pipe.
All right. Well, I was just asking about it. These are the plans that you gave us. These are the
Yes.
plans. These are the
Did you
plans
get
gave us.
did you get the other package that
No,
I believe
I don't have the grading plans.
yeah, I thought I sent an email with all the stuff that had to been uploaded.
Yeah, well, but the most current ones, if this isn't the most current ones, would you check and see if you sent me one that has the current ones? Because
Yeah,
you remember when
I'll
I
double
looked
check.
at, you remember when I looked at the plans and I saw some of your section cuts, and you had to change the section cuts because some
Yeah.
were, that was based off of, I believe, this plan.
Yeah, I'll see if I'll see if you've got the current set. But as I was saying, in reviewing the comments from the city, the only thing that's extra effort is that survey. The rest it's pretty good actually. If you had the opportunity to look at it, they're not bad at all. Actually, they're not. It's a lot of it's cleanup. It's just that, as they said, the map check, they want us to do all this, preservation.
Okay. So here they are. Look at this. David, take a look at this. So these are the plans I'm talking about. You see these plans? One,
Not quite, not yet.
two. Oh, okay. I'll tell you what. I didn't do it. Let me go back and show it to you.
No problem.
Now, can you see them?
Okay, yeah, those are the plans that we got approved with the NDP, the
Yeah,
neighborhood
those.
develop. But the grading plans is a different set. I'll check my email and send it to you and see if I sent it to you. They look like that, but they're different.
They have to be because they have to
This
be
was
on. Go on. Go on.
Yeah, this plan was used for approval of our neighborhood development permit that allowed us to do that work. Now, the other plans we submitted are for the grading permit.
Yeah, and those are city D size sheets.
Yes, that is correct. And
And
it says D on the bottom right-hand corner.
oh yeah, because that's what they have with those are some of the items that on their first review they were asking you to do, like add the the
Add the
drawing
numbers. Yeah,
numbers, the
because
chords, and all
we
that.
exactly. Yeah, because we didn't have that number. They assigned the number after we submitted, so that's the number now for the drawings.
Yeah, I understand.
Which is good.
Okay, well,
But yeah, you know what? I'll make sure that I get you a copy of that. That set.
yeah,
That whole
because
set that was submitted.
that's what when I look at it, I want to be able to speak the same language when we talk to the reviewers, and we got to be able to be current with the plans that you're submitting to the county.
Oh, absolutely.
to the city.
That's what I always do.
Okay, so that's an action item. It's get me. They can be PDF, the ones that you
Oh
submitting.
yeah, and in fact that's better. Yeah, that'll be better size wise, because if they were if I sent you the CAD file, you'd have to have AutoCAD software to open them.
Yeah, well, I have I do have that software. I do have AutoCAD.
No, that's fine. I could send you both if you want.
No, but I don't want. I don't want that at this stage. Just give me the
Okay, I'll just give
PDFs,
you the PDFs.
so that when we're talking like this, David, we'll be able to. You see how we're making comments and we're able to reference the drawings, correct?
Sure.
And
PDF,
you see how that
right.
helps? You see that help? You see how that helps you and me?
Absolutely. It puts us on the same page.
Yeah, there you go. And
All right.
Yeah, and that's the value of this program, this Zoom program. Sharing our screens. So,
yeah, what I'll do next time, It looks like I had problems with the desktop. I'll load this particular project file in my desktop so I could share the share the same
Yeah, you
drawings.
could just go
'Cause
in and
as I
open it
said,
up.
this is
Bingo.
my
Yeah,
yeah
that's good, but that's, you
yeah.
know, we got, it's a little process
I'll do
here.
that the next meeting.
Yeah, this is a process
Oh,
here,
sure.
and thanks for, you know, joining in. And so when we follow up, because
Oh,
there's some,
no problem.
so it looks like we have a couple action items on my end, is to get
Yeah, and if you
get,
could talk to yeah, Wendell on that survey so I can coordinate, because I don't want to be to the point where I'd like to coordinate at the same time. So when we're ready to go and his stuff is ready. So when I submit it, everything is complete. They don't come back to me and say, hey, you forgot this. And you know how it is, right?
oh yeah, definitely. And what about the architect? What's the status of that?
That's the other item. I talked to the architect when I was on the way here. Have you contacted her at all?
I asked you what the status was on the architect.
Yeah, that she's waiting for she's waiting for she sent over the contract and she hasn't heard anything back yet. So if you could look at your email, if not, I could resend the contract again. And if it meets to the approval, she can get she's ready to, she's ready to get going on.
All right. Well, you remember the last time we talked, I was able to, you know, pull it up, you know, because I think it was November 14th or something like that. But anyway, I did see her contract, and I want to be able to, when you, as a follow-up, please put these action items down in one package. So when I present it to W, we'll have it all. You know what I mean? And we'll get.
Oh, okay.
You know,
So
we'll get a decision here.
Okay. What I'll do is after our meeting, I'll just do a quick 8 action item list to say, okay, this is what we need to do. You know, which is like you said, so you can present it to W. I think that'll work. Just
And then
I'll
we
just
can
send it to you.
and we can act on it, like because
Okay.
the sooner we get this
do
information.
you want me to resend the? Do you want me to resend the proposal? Just
I want each proposal.
So you don't have to dig it up again.
Yeah, please give me the proposal so it's all in one bag. It's all together, David, and then we can address it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know I just got to verify.
Gotcha. In fact, I'll come. I'll
W.
do. Good, and so you won't have to search other emails. Everything will be in all one email.
Right.
All right.
And then, you know, like we'll keep track of our time, and we're just going to push this puppy right on through, you know, and just be prepared, because there's a lot of unknowns with this being it was the neighbors, they've been doing some extra dumping on that site.
On Wendell's property?
Yeah, on that site there. And so that could cause a challenge when it comes to the grading, because like
can I
for the soils report, yeah.
Did he fence his property? He could fence it. I would recommend him putting a fence, because
it's not fenced.
Because I think one of the problems he was having also, if I don't know if you haven't been there lately, but when the last time I went, there was homeless encampment at the bottom.
That's right. That's right.
They had some people tenting down there.
That's a volatile area all the way around.
Oh, man.
And so
and that was one of the things that we told the city, and that's why we told them that by developing this, it would alleviate the problem of transient, settlements in that area and stuff. And that's why we got a good vote for.
That's good.
Good vote to get this approved through the community planning group.
And then the other question is,
when did this happen? When did this site thing? You said that when did they started dumping this?
Well, I'm just saying over a period of time. This site has been there for, we've had this site for a number, for a long time. And there's minor, there's minor dumping, and that affects your grading. We might have to undercut, in order to have the proper compaction for when the grading comes in. So the sooner
Yes, and that is correct. In fact, our grading plan, you're correct. The current grading plan does reflect the undercut and what we call over X and recompact. It is on that plan, but there hasn't been any recent dumping in there. To your
no,
knowledge,
no,
do you know if
not
there's
to my
any?
knowledge. Not to my
Oh, okay,
knowledge.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. But as I was saying, one thing that might be wise if Wendell has the funding is if any you get a chance to go down there, just make sure that there's no homeless encampments before they, you know what I mean? Try to see if you can, if there is, you could just call the PD and they could come down there and get them out and we could fence it.
Okay. Well, that is a cost. Those construction fences, especially in that with all that terrain. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Those
I
temporary
think,
fences.
those the chain link ones. Yeah.
Not yeah, they're temporary. Yeah, that they put in and they can surround the property. But that's a big space there. We want to try to minimize our expenses.
Or, if you see them, you could probably just call the PD. Hopefully they can just say that, hey, this is going to be a construction site soon. And if they could escort these, people out of there. And sometimes it's hard to do, I know, and, and so forth. But overall, right now for the action item package, I'm going to get you copies of PDF. I'll bunch it into one email of all the plans and all the stuff that I submitted electronically to the city. I'll get you a package that. The other one is I'll get you a copy of the contract again of the surveyor. The third one will be the contract of the architect. And those two items, the surveyor and the architect, are action items that you will discuss with W.
Okay, I sure will. And on that, like the work order agreement with the surveyor, it says that it does not include any county or city fees. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's what he's saying is the county city fees in the event that they say, okay, you got to record something with, the recording, that's the recording fees or submittal fee. That's what he's inferring to, because those are fees that the city has, that like when you remember when you submitted the plans, we had to electronically pay it, stuff like that.
Well, based off of what we're looking at right now, there are going to be some of those costs, aren't there?
For the survey, as you said, if he finds out that there are no monuments out there, just say he goes out there and he can't find anything, what he'll be as a survey, he'll make the determination. Well, you've got to do a record of survey. So the filing fee for a record of survey, he would indicate what those are. He would just say, okay, to file this for the city, it's going to be X amount, and it's not going to be in, like the grading plan.
Well, it goes to the county.
The county recorders, yes, county recorder, the city, the city
gets
it.
The surveys is with the county.
It doesn't go to him. The fee he'll tell you where to pay it and what it is. It's for recordation as well as review. But again, it depends on what, like you said, we will know the options as soon as he goes out there and, knock on wood. If he finds all four monuments, that's great. Nothing has to be reset. He just has to indicate
not necessarily because it's not like reset. If you to do this job, this is what they're saying. In order to do the construction, it's more than likely something's going to be removed in order to do the construction.
Yeah, usually that happens. That you're right. It does. It's hard to protect it.
I just want to let him know we got to anticipate that those costs.
Yeah, and that's true. No matter what you do to try to protect it,
yeah,
a dozer or a truck, it just somehow knocks it down.
Especially this tight site. Look at it.
Oh yeah, and what will happen is what he'll do. I think that I can give you an idea what the surveyor will do. He establishes that corner. What he'll do is he'll put offset points or something that gives him an idea.
He put some
when all said and done, he knows where to put it back.
Yeah, he'll put some temporary. Temporary benchmarks.
They call them offsets. Yeah, they're offsets.
But they're temporary.
One will be probably marked on the alley.
Yeah, they're temporary.
And what will happen is exactly. Then he'll come back and he goes, okay, I see my points here. This is where they're like, he needs like
Yeah,
4
they do
points.
it. They do it. They do it.
He'll string across them.
Yeah, yeah. They do it with their equipment,
Yeah.
the survey equipment. Okay, so that
Yeah.
pretty
So I'll
much.
go ahead and put that together.
Yeah, and take like when we're dealing with this survey, you know, you might want to ask
Mhm.
this guy, you know, like would you know some of these concerns that I had, you might want to ask him about that. What are some of the recording fees that he's
Okay.
encountered? Just to, you know, I don't want to be throwing these surprises at W. I want to give him some heads up.
No
What he
problem.
could
I'll
encounter.
ask him about fees.
Okay.
Okay, I'll ask him if he knows what the anticipated recording fees are.
Because that's pretty much, you know, that's pretty much what's going to have to happen. But we just want to minimize and be prepared one way or the other.
Oh, no problem. I'll do that. I'll include that in my email.
Okay.
All right, Jerry, that
Any
sounds
questions?
good.
Any additional questions for me?
No. It sounds good. And if anything comes up, I'll let you know. And after you discuss, you know, everything with W and so forth, keep me in the loop when you guys make a decision with the architect and the surveyor, so I can get on them and
Oh yeah, definitely.
track them and say what their progress is and everything, and I can
Okay.
report to you on that.
Okay.
Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, that is one. And that being said, let's check your schedule and see what when we can meet next week.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
You have a good evening.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
We'll get used to this thing. It'll be fun.
Well, you see, well, you see the value of it.
Oh yeah, I like the drawing sharing part.
Yeah, well, that's work. We working. Hey, thanks, David. I really appreciate it.
You too. Take care. Have a good evening, sir.
You too.
All right.